All right, you are now tuned in to the Rotated Views podcast, episode number 29. I love leftovers. I am your host, Jimmylee. I am here with Goose, Heck, and Gabe. That's right, I love leftovers.
We love food.
In this episode, we discuss our favorite food, dealing with food with our children, leftovers, and our stories of terrible food experiences. We wrap up this episode in a taco. Just kidding. With quotes from Kevin James and Elsa Schiaparelli. And we're going to kick it off with a definition from dictionary.com. And I want to define leftovers for all the unfortunate people who don't like leftovers.
Leftovers, yum.
Food remaining uneaten at the end of a meal, especially when saved for later use.
Woo!
Yeah,
Prime example was yesterday. Leftovers. What we had yesterday, leftovers. Watching that Philadelphia Eagles game, we had some pizza and wings. And then we stayed late and had pizza and wings all over again.
Yeah.
Leftovers.
Burnt pizza and wings.
Leftovers.
Leftovers in the same day?
Yep.
Yeah, it was...
Well,
is
the
it
game was
considered leftovers if
Yeah.
it's the same day?
Is
No.
it considered leftovers?
No.
I think so. I don't
It's
know.
called
Well,
more
the game was at 1 o'clock.
We need
and
rules.
We ate, so that was left over when we ate at 8 o'clock at night.
True.
That was what was left
leftover.
over,
It was
so
just
it doesn't
a repeat
necessarily
meal.
have to be the next day.
Correct. It says
It could be that
food
you bought a
remaining
lot of food.
uneaten at the end of a meal. And when we ate at 1 o'clock was one meal.
It was safe for later use, so there you go.
That's
you go.
true. And to help us, actually, I got this little article from nutritiouslife.com titled 6 Rules for Eating Leftovers So You Don't Get Sick by Carrie Glassman. And they go like this. No leftovers, 2 + 2 + 2 rule, keep it covered, contain wisely, know the rules, and number 6 is Health Benefits 101. So number 1, no leftovers. You get to heat up your leftovers once and only once. When you're reheating, take out only the portion you plan to eat. The 2 + 2 + 2 rule, you only want to refrigerate or freeze your food within 2 hours of cooking in a 2-inch dish and eat leftovers within 2 days. Number 3, keep it covered. Tightly cover your leftovers to minimize contamination from the air and to prevent drying out of your food. Number 4, contain wisely. I strongly recommend storing your food in glass, porcelain, or stainless steel. But if you choose a plastic container for storage or drinking, make sure it's BPA free. Number 5, know the rules. Each food has different shelf life. Dairy is a little bit more resilient than seafood, for example. The look, smell, taste isn't most reliable. And number 6, Health Benefits 101. Honestly, you probably do lose a little nutrition the older most of your leftovers get. Light air exposure and time chip away at some of the healthfulness. But they're far from nutritionally useless. So there you have it. That was 6 rules for eating leftovers so you don't get sick.
It's interesting.
With those 6 rules, let's jump right into it. Do you guys eat leftovers?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I love leftovers.
Any day I can.
We can't.
Any day you can.
Yeah.
Do you plan on eating leftovers, or do you just eat leftovers because that's what ended up happening?
No, any day I can, meaning in my house, there's so many people in my house that we don't get leftovers.
Oh, gotcha.
So any day I can, I will eat leftovers.
And in my house, it's the opposite. There's not many people, so there's always leftovers.
Really?
Yeah.
That is true.
I'm kind of in between. My wife literally makes 2 portion, so it's cool, but it's not cool because only one. It's always enough for one of us to take a
extra
container to work. So if we both like the dish, it's kind of like, oh man, who wakes up first, or
Who's going to hide it away?
or yeah, who's gonna be that jerk that just takes it and just doesn't say nothing.
You put it in the vegetable crisper.
Yeah.
That's mine. I'm not telling her. Hide it in the flim flam.
Hide it in the flim flam. So is there specific foods you won't eat that's left over?
I'm usually the one eating leftover of anything, so
Yeah.
just as long as I like the meal, I'll eat whatever.
I don't eat soup leftovers.
No?
No. For some
Why is that?
reason, I don't know.
I
Because
feel like that's the least thing you could taste that's even left over.
No,
It
well,
always
because
tastes the
I get
same.
grossed out because when I look at
It tastes
growing
the same.
up, the soup will be left over in a thing, and then all you see the next morning, the grease rose to the top, and I always get disgusted by that.
Yeah.
In the
But I
fridge.
think-
So I always
I
I
feel
just
like-
When
don't
you
mess
heat it
with
up, it goes away.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
soup
eventually,
is the
yeah.
least
But
thing that even
looking at it
tastes
initially, yeah,
different.
it's
It
gross.
always
Yeah.
tastes the same, leftover or not.
like a soggy hoagie or something.
Oh
Yeah,
yes.
that
that's
is
gross.
so foul.
Yes, with like the oil and
Yes.
vinegars like in it and
Oh,
just sitting there, and it's like,
Yeah.
ugh.
No.
Speaking of
That's
that, that's
foul.
what I had for lunch today. I had a hoagie, and
A leftover one?
but no, I don't know if it was
Soggy hoagie.
left over, but it was.
Dude, I had
But
a soggy hoagie today.
It was an Italian hoagie, and at the end of it was like the bread was soggy, and I was like, man,
Yeah, that's the worst.
so
that
bad. And
is
the bread was
gross.
like nice and soft, and, like crunchy on the outside, was soft in the middle, and then that tail end part was just super
Yeah, every
soggy.
once in a while we'll get a
Oh.
we'll order a wrap, like a cheesesteak wrap, or like a buffalo chicken cheesesteak wrap or
yeah.
something. It don't even have to be the next day. That thing just gets soggy at the bottom, and like
From
the
the
wraps
day-
are thin. They're just
Yeah.
and, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like all the juices, whatever.
yeah, it's just kind of not the best. Yeah, my favorite leftover food is pizza by far.
Yeah. Yes.
Cold pizza,
chicken, like chicken,
chicken
drumstick,
wings.
cold chicken at the refrigerator.
Not
chicken
oh,
finger,
so
like a
good.
chicken tender.
wings or yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of things that taste better the second time around.
Yeah,
Pizza's one of them.
Pizza, huh?
pizza's always good though. Pizza's always good. I need the pepperoni pizza fresh out the refrigerator. Don't even heat that bad boy up.
Would you eat someone else's leftovers, and does it depend on the person?
It depends on the person.
It is
Only
weird.
leftovers I eat is for mommies.
No, if it was like someone went out to dinner and they came home with leftovers, right? That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Like someone else's leftovers, not like whose house.
Like if
it
you
is.
ate like Lauren's leftovers or something.
Yeah, like
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like if I went to mommy's house, but if I go to someone else's house and have their leftover, like it's I don't know. I don't know. It all depends on what it is.
no. I don't think you're getting it though. Like Jim and Kel go out to dinner, they come home with leftovers. Would you eat that leftovers that they were eating? Like it's in the styrofoam plate.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I would too, and I think it's the same.
I think
thing,
we've
though.
all
I think
done
it's
that,
yeah. I
though.
think it's like like you coming over my house and you just came from a restaurant and you're just like, oh, I already have this food. We're not stopping home, so we're just bringing this. And
Yeah, we
if
bring
you guys
it-
want
yeah.
it,
Yeah.
whatever.
You pick at it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we're just picking at
Yeah,
it like
we-
fries and
we've
chicken,
done that.
like
You've
chicken
done
tenders
that.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is weird. I've gotten like offered like someone's lunch
I
of
was
dinner
gonna
that they
say
made
that.
the night before.
I was gonna say
and then
that, yeah.
that's when I get weirded out. It could have been the most incredible thing, but I get weirded out with other people's
Yeah,
foods.
that
Like, if I don't know you, like I don't know. It just
Yeah.
weirds me out.
That happened to me. Somebody offered me their food, but it was like from their night, like you said, their night before.
Yeah.
And I'm looking, I'm like, no me cogen.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
It's I don't know. It's kind of weird because I don't know.
But
But it's funny though because that person will cook at my job,
Yeah, but
and I'm good with it.
Okay, but you're
Yeah,
saying
I feel like what's different is like if you go out to dinner, right? You have a plate
yeah.
and you're eating it. You're eating off of the plate, and you don't want no more. You save that and bring it home. That's like leftovers, as opposed to like mom makes mad food. She's taking out of like the pot and putting it in plates, and there's a lot left over in a pot that no one's touched.
Right.
That's different, and then you take that to work and you can hand that to someone. I feel that's different than as opposed to what someone was just eating on their
That's
dish.
what someone did though. That's what
They were
that's what I'm saying.
eating-
No, they
it's-
weren't eating. They did what you did. Like it was
Oh, I
their
see what you're saying.
leftover
Yeah,
in
Yeah,
the
there's
pot.
That is a big
differences.
difference,
Yeah, there's
yeah.
differences. That's what
No,
I'm saying.
absolutely. No, it was their leftover in their pot, and it was.
Yeah, see, I don't see nothing wrong
it
with
was
that.
extra food left over. It.
Yeah.
My wife packed it. He says.
Yeah, that I don't see nothing
I don't-
wrong
I
with
just-
that.
Well, I mean,
don't
there's a
know.
difference between extra food and leftover food. That, like,
Exactly.
half
Yeah,
your
yeah,
plate.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and then someone gives you like a breadstick what they just bit
They
off.
just
and
chewed it
Yeah,
yesterday.
I just went of Olive Garden.
Yeah, I have French fries. Half the French fries are chewed up.
Do you mark your name on now? Do you guys get like territorial? I guess what really want to apply would be like you guys, whoever has like a bigger family. I don't remember us doing it at home though either. We're poor guys though. That thing there was no
There
leftovers.
was barely any leftovers
Yeah.
at home.
That was not what was. It was already set aside for mom and pop. For
What
lunch.
do you mean leftovers and you put it in the fridge? You just
Yeah,
label
like,
it?
do you put your name on it?
Nah.
Dude, because I saw like this funny meme, or not, I don't even think it was a meme. It was just like a picture of like like the styrofoam, like the big square styrofoam
Yeah,
food.
yeah.
Like it said, like on top of it said, "Rachel, do not eat my food. I have 6 wings, 27 French fries, and like something else." Like literally
dang.
counted
Wow.
everything.
Well, then so then that's every. It sounds like it's every man for themselves in that place.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the reason why I asked though, because when we were at college, you had to do that,
Yeah.
or it was like
right. Free for all.
fair
Everything.
game.
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah,
it wasn't
yeah.
marked, you can eat it.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
we had like like those big magic what they call Sharpies, and we would Sharpie everything just because you had to, or you weren't gonna eat.
But it seems like people, like, it's funny that you say like it's free for all, but like people at work do the same thing too. It's like there's a big fridge.
Oh,
Dude, how do you do that? How do you
crazy
do that? How
First
do
of
you?
all, that's foul.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I didn't think anybody did that, but then somebody said that recently at work that somebody took their lunch. I'm like, what?
Dude,
like,
that is so
all grown adults. Why are you taking
foul.
somebody else's food?
That's crazy.
That happened to me it was like 2 weeks straight, and I kept telling my boss, I'm like, and it wasn't all my food. I was taking it in, and we had like the little community refrigerator or whatever.
Yeah.
And someone kept eating my yogurt, and it was driving me nuts. I'm like, dude, I'm bringing in different yogurts. And what it was this is like very lazy on their end. They literally they ate the same brand. But in the back of my mind, all I could think of is like, do you not see what flavor you're grabbing in the morning?
Yeah,
because
exactly.
this person ate like the same. It was like blueberry,
Dude,
and then I would
for the most part too, you know where you put yourself in the refrigerator.
I'm
You know
saying,
where you
like,
laid that
you're
thing
not
at.
paying attention, or you're just like,
You're like, his
purposely-
looks better than mine. I'm gonna grab his.
yeah, like no, you're just purposely stealing someone's food. I
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
felt like that's what our point it got to. Because
Yeah.
I'm like, at first I just thought it was careless. Then I'm like,
Right.
maybe they cleaned out the fridge one day, like the janitors or whatever. They threw everything out
Yeah.
that was in it. Okay.
You can get
Then it
mad
was like,
about
dude,
that.
2 weeks of the same stuff, and I'm like, come on,
They
dude. Like
bring
that,
home. They bring to work one yogurt. They eat two that day.
yeah, and this, yeah, and this was like, and then we ended up finding out someone was just taking it, and then that's when they were saying, oh, I have the same one. I can't even. But here's my thing: if you keep bringing the same one, it's kind of like what you're saying. So what are you doing with yours then?
Yeah.
Yeah, where is yours?
So yeah.
Yeah, so where's yours?
So there's
There should be an
there
extra
should
one
be,
in the
there
refrigerator.
should be
should-
2
yeah,
weeks
there should-
worth of yogurt still in
Yeah.
the refrigerator somewhere.
Yeah.
So
So
you
I
didn't get the same flavor.
and
there should be another
your
one.
yogurt was next to your bag. I'm assuming you had a bag or something in the refrigerator also.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I would just buy my lunch, but I would take a yogurt and like a granola bar for snack, like in between or something.
Oh,
like,
I got it.
So,
but you didn't put it in
like
a
around
baggie to keep it separate.
so
You
it's just a little yogurt,
Yeah.
So I would just like throw it in there. There was times where I put it in a bag or whatever. They probably took it out of the bag too. I'm telling you, it was the weirdest thing. Yes, or like a late afternoon, like 2:00 or something, like something to hold me over. So I'll go. That's what I would have the yogurt for. It wasn't,
It was
But
like part of your breakfast. Like you go in there and eat
So-
that immediately.
yeah.
My where I used to work at, we used to work on when I was working on second shift. This one guy, I guess he was keeping tabs of what in the heck was in the refrigerator. So he never brought food. He was always eating leftovers and like picking at other people's stuff. And he'll ask you, I'll be eating my leftover food or my food, whatever. And he's asking me if I'm gonna eat it. I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? It's lunchtime. How come? What are you doing? Why are you asking me for my food? So anyhow, he went into the refrigerator, the freezer actually, and he was keeping tabs on what was left behind. And it was like one of those encores or like
TV dinner.
TV dinner type things. Yeah. Hungry man's.
Good man's.
So, and it was
Bum,
like
bum,
Salisbury
bum.
steak and like mushrooms
Salisbury steak is foul.
and mashed potatoes and corn. Hungry man. So this dude, I was getting coffee, and I see him. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you did you bring that? No, it's been sitting here for the past 2 weeks and nobody's touched it. I'm like, but is it yours?
What?
Yeah, but it's been sitting there, and I noticed that nobody has touched it, so I'm just gonna heat it up. Yo, my man just straight heated that thing up in the microwave and ate it.
That's
He-
foul.
like knowing that it's not yours. Just
He just looked at himself, looked in the fridge, said, "I'm a hungry man's. I will
I'm
eat
gonna
that."
eat today.
Have you ever eaten expired or stale food before?
I have chips.
I was like cookies or something was good still
Yeah.
because they were like softer.
Yeah, you're right.
That is weird. Why? And what kind of cookies? Like chocolate chips?
The ones sometimes Oreos, depending like the flavor ones, like not like the regular basic ones, but like the frosted Oreos. Frosted oatmeal.
Oh, frosted
oatmeal cookies,
Yo, the cheap Pathmark Jones.
Yo, they're
That was
banging.
the
Mom used to buy them
best,
all the
yo.
time. The frosted oatmeal and then the sugar
those
on top
butter
of the oatmeal.
ones are banging too.
Yeah, you know
Little
what's
flour buttered
banging
ones?
stale? Chocolate. It's white.
What?
Dude, I feel like you didn't plug your brain in today. Like, what are you talking?
Can't like a Snickers bar that's expired. It's white.
It's because it's a Stickers bar.
It's
he eats everything imitation.
Gosh.
But yeah,
Like a
it
white
has like a
ash.
white like
yeah,
powder,
like a white
like,
coat. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hard as hell.
Yeah, exactly.
leftovers. You know, yeah.
That's leftovers.
You know, thinking about that, like going.
That's gonna be Halloween soon.
No, all right, hold
I
on.
was thinking that
My coworker brought in Halloween candy. He goes, "Oh, look, I got Halloween candy from
2015.
dude. It was 2 years ago. We looked at expiration date. We're like, I started eating the candy, like a little piece of chocolate. I'm like, oh, just like what? It's chocolate, but white. So I looked and I'm like, dude,
Look at
what
me,
the
Mom,
heck
eating a
is this?
Whopper.
So then, my one coworker, he started looking at the other candy. Then my boss looked at the bag of candy, and it was all expired candy. It was like from 2 years ago. And he brings it in, and I'm like, dude. So
Did
my
you
boss,
ask him?
yeah, he goes, yeah, it was from a while ago, sitting in the bucket in the cabinet of in the house.
Oh my
So then
gosh.
this year, my boss goes to him. He's like, dude, don't bring any of your Halloween candy to this place. He's
trying to
like, I don't
kill
care how
people?
fresh it is or how old it is. Leave your candy home. So what's your favorite food as a kid? What
My
did you
favorite,
like?
my favorite food as a kid. I'm gonna give you guys the same answer for every question.
Pizza.
It was pizza.
Yeah, your pizza jokes.
Yeah, I was a pizza head. I didn't know how else to act. I mean, mind you, pizza now I would consider as a finger food and not as an actual meal. So
Right.
where before I considered it. Someone
Pizza
asked
like
me
a
like,
meal.
"What's your favorite food?" I would say, "Well, kind of depends." Like, you're saying like a meal, then for me it's just like fried chicken, rice and beans.
Yeah.
That's just like that classic.
Yeah.
That's me. But if you're telling me, like, what's your favorite, like, it's good. You gotta think about it. You eat it with your hands. I mean, you can't take it that serious. It is amazing though, and I'm obsessed.
Well, I mean,
with
yeah,
pizza.
like my favorite food now is burgers.
yeah,
Like, I actually like trying different types of burgers.
yeah.
Like I had what was it, A1 peppercorn burger the other day with pepper jack
Angus.
cheese and like the onion straws in it and stuff like that. Like I like
That
trying
sounds amazing.
different burgers.
That
That's my
sounds
thing now.
amazing.
And then French fries, garlic parmesan French fries,
What was your favorite food as a kid, Gabe?
rice and beans.
Well, that would be. I mean, that's really all the damn.
Chuleta.
Pork chops. Pork chop sandwiches.
Pork chops. But although he did live next to Porky's, right?
But down the street from it, pretty much.
Yeah, he lived right down the street from Porky's.
Did you
Remember
eat there
Porky's?
pretty often?
Dude, you can get
Every
freaking
once in a while.
empanadillas. You can get freaking.
See, I like empanadillas.
Oh man, my mouth is watering.
Empanaditas,
What's the
Acapulco.
yes?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, but
Those
you
are
could get it like at
so
7 in the
good.
morning though, and they do that so you
I
can take
didn't,
it.
I
for
didn't like that
lunch.
when I was younger. I kind of
No?
acquired it later on.
Yeah.
That was
That's
like when
some
that
good-ass
Spanish
food.
restaurant, like
Next to
takeout
the
place was up
barbershop.
by the barbershop. Everyone
Yeah.
gained like 15 pounds within like 2
So
months.
good.
Everything was deep fried.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what that is. I mean,
That's what you do there.
You
You
get
The one thing, like,
Tostones?
I've always ate, and I can eat like still tons of it today. Is like tostones.
oh yeah, the
I eat,
best.
Like
So
tostones by the
good.
hands.
Dude, I remember like growing up, Manny would
So
make
good.
Manny's mom would make it with the mayonnaise and ketchup blend
yeah.
or whatever.
the
which is-
dressing, whatever. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my
That weird
gosh,
homemade like garlic, whatever
Yeah.
it is, like dipping sauce thing.
it's basically Thousand
So
Island.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what it is.
Yeah, pretty much.
So when I go, me and my coworker, we went out not too long ago to this restaurant called Tropical out in Jersey.
Tropical.
Tropical and it's Spanish food. So
You
we
think?
I ordered the tropical rice. So it basically has like pork, bacon, like it has like a bunch of different meats and then beans in it, and it's so slamming. So I ordered a steak on the grill,
Oh well.
and it was like seriously probably like 10 to 12, about a foot long, like the way the steak was, but it was like the thin. It was thin steak though. It wasn't like the thick stuff.
Like flank steak almost.
Yeah, like flank steak, yo. And then I ordered tostones with it, with the side of garlic and oil like mixed together.
Ay tan bueno.
So good, dude.
Wow.
That was so amazing. So
We should
amazing.
go to Tropical. Because
We
when you
should.
said tropical, the first thing I thought it was cheeseburgers.
Yeah, no, we should seriously. We should go there. They have a bar there and everything. You can hang out.
Do they know you? Like, do they say Hector?
Do you get the hookup?
Do you get like a
No.
Are you a regular?
They say when they see me, they say hi. I don't know if they're just being friendly.
Well, I hope they say hi. The customers
hello.
walk in.
Hi.
So you ever go to a restaurant and they have they bring you out something that you didn't order? That ever happen to you?
Well, I have the story where I went to Atlantic City. It was like a nice high-end restaurant, and on the menu it said like ham.
Domino's?
No, it said ham, and like I want to say a baked
Jeez.
potato, whatever. Yo, when this thing came out, it was like lunch meat ham, like sliced in like lunch meat.
Oh,
It was
deli-
expensive.
What?
Yo, it was expensive as anything, and it was like 4 slices of lunch meat ham, and then
they had a
like a little like a tablespoon full of like mashed potatoes and like beans or like green beans or whatever. I'm like, what in the world?
Oh man.
Oh,
must have been cut
man.
on
And I'm
that.
sitting here
That's
thinking it's like a
super
nice like
disappointing.
slice of ham, like a big like thick
Yeah,
juicy
like-
piece
like
of ham.
like an Easter ham, like an Easter,
Yeah.
like a piece
Yeah.
of Easter ham that we.
Dude,
Some
and
spiral
I'm not
ham.
lying.
Yeah,
It
spiral
really
ham.
was like
Lunch meat?
lunch meat, like
Oh, man.
cold cuts.
That's
That's disappointing. Super disappointing.
So I ate that, and then we actually went to Domino's. Yeah,
Yes,
in Atlantic City.
I knew that.
Well, I ordered something that was
From where? Where you at?
I went to Fridays, TGI Fridays, and I saw it was something they were promoting, and it said something spring something. I can't remember what it was, and it was like pasta, and I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'll take this, and it had like chicken. Well, I'm not a vegetable fan at all, and it was pasta, like bow tie pasta with like all these veggies and all this crap in it, and I was like so disappointed because I was hungry and I wasn't expecting it to be.
Well, what's crap though?
To me, I think not that it's crap. It's just like stuff
All
that
kinds of
that-
vegetables.
vegetables. I don't eat vegetables.
So it's crap to you.
To me, it is. Yeah, that's my personal preference because I don't really eat vegetables. So I was disappointed because it was like red veggies and like
No wonder you don't like them. You know how to pronounce them. That's veggies. And we got over here. We got some Karens, and over
we got some cucumbers. But yeah, I was actually disappointed with the platter. So I tried to get them to take it back, and they're like, "No,
yeah, like nah.
because that's what you ordered."
Yeah, that's what the thing is.
Yeah. So
Replace all the vegetables with meat.
You would push it back.
Yeah.
yeah. So
Well,
I didn't-
I remember.
But no, the best part was I made the other people pay for it. The people that I went with.
So you got a bad meal.
Who
and
Who did
didn't
you
pay
go
for it.
with? Your wife? Your wife?
No.
We went to dinner for his birthday, Heck's birthday, one year. I think we went to like Carrabba's or something, and we all ordered our food. We all ate, and then his food never came out. Right? Remember?
Yeah, I remember that.
We were waiting too. So now we're like trying to be like polite, and then it just took forever. So then he was like, "Oh, just eat, go ahead, it's all right." We literally ate and finished, and the waiter still came over and said, "Oh, it's coming right out."
What was it? It was like 3 long. What was it? Manicottis? Is that what that's the
Yeah.
long with the
Yeah.
stuff?
It's like a stuffed
cheese
shell.
and
Cheese and stuff. Yeah, that's what I ordered, and it was like
Yeah.
baked or whatever. And the lady was, "Yeah, no, it's coming, it's coming."
Yeah.
So I tell everybody to eat, thinking it was coming soon.
Dude, you would think they didn't take it off the bill or nothing. You would think.
Really?
Yeah, 'cause I remember we paid for these. He's like, "Oh, that's cool," and the lady's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." He's like, "No, it's fine. I'm just gonna give it to my dog now." He said something like that, and we all just started laughing or whatever. But you got to a point where you're not even hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty annoying. 'Cause
Well, it
you're
was
waiting.
and it was his birthday. We're like, "Yeah, happy birthday, yeah, all right." That was delicious,
And I didn't get to
and
eat.
he didn't even get to eat.
I took
Happy
it home.
birthday.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
brutal.
That's pretty annoying.
Yeah, I mean, talking about that embarrassing moments though, I remember sitting, me, my mom, my dad, and Kelly. It was when I first bought my my Audi, and the first night out. So I was like, I thought it was all cool. Yeah, growing up. This has nothing to do with the story, but I just remember this specific night. Anyway, we sat down. Where did we go? Like Applebee's or something. But anyway. So we're at Applebee's and we sat down, eat. Our food was fine, whatever. But there's this couple next to us, right? They ordered so much stuff, and you just kept seeing the waiter come over, and I was like, it was noticeable that they kept ordering stuff and then, like, try to bail on the bill.
What?
Oh man.
Yeah. They're like, can we
Dining
talk
dash.
to a manager? That was not good. That was disgusting. It was
Ordered
that.
like 80 things.
Yeah, and their bill was just them two. Their bill was up. They didn't have no, alcohol or anything. Their bill was like up there,
That's
like in
horrible.
3 digits.
How do you do
They
that?
kept order. I don't know, dude. I was embarrassed, like secondhand embarrassment.
Yeah,
That's
it's-
crazy.
It's talking about that. You ever go to a? I have a pet peeve is that when you go to a restaurant and you go with somebody, and one thing is you split the bill, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, one thing is you split it down the middle, and that's kind of you guys already had said that was going to happen, right?
yeah.
Not the
The other,
assumption.
yeah, not the assumption. The other thing is like they come with like their brother, their sister, him and his girlfriend, and then you're just there with you and your girlfriend. and then you're splitting the bill in half. It was like, wait a minute, you have four
that's uneven.
people,
Yeah, no.
and I have 2 people.
Yeah.
Or somebody comes with their kids.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a family of like
we're
8 and you're like, just you by yourself.
Yeah, we're like, oh, this is where this is going? Or they go out and like, oh, I forgot my wallet.
That's when you
Yeah,
dine and
you
dash.
can't fall for that no more though.
That's just too.
oldest.
That's too much.
Yeah,
That's one and
Oh,
done.
yeah. I don't even
chicken
want to go on
and
that because I have so many
Someti-
stories to go on that. But
I
leave
get
that
so
alone.
frustrated when there's a lot of people trying to like chip in on stuff. Like it gets confusing and then turns into like madness and like, well, you had extra chicken nuggets than I did, so you should pay like $1
You got
more.
it. Yeah.
Like people get that
Yeah.
picky with stuff. It's
That's
like
crazy.
yeah.
That's when you have big parties, just like everybody gets their own bills.
Yeah, you gotta be
Separated.
you gotta if you do stuff like that, you gotta know who you're going out with. Because there's some people who don't care. They're like, I'll pay for the whole thing, and then you out with them next time. You don't mind going out with that person, obviously, because they pay for the whole time. You don't mind paying for their stuff
Exactly.
the next time you guys go out. But when you go out,
And
with
it's a
someone-
mutual thing that you're going back and forth.
Yeah, like you guys have like this thing, and you know how they are. But then it happened to us a couple times where we went out with the same people multiple times. It was like, dude, we're like losing money. Just tell them that we're not going out with them, or we're gonna go like order pizza and we're gonna split that. Or
Yeah.
I don't even know. I'm done splitting.
Yeah,
with this.
I'm not a fan going out with a lot of people.
No. But sometimes you don't really have the option, and then if you do, it's kind of like what he's saying. And I know it sounds weird, but dude, we gotta split this bill, man. It's just that's what I always say. It's confusing. Let's just split the bill. Just pay for whatever you got. It's
or
fine.
split it by section or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Like,
something.
it's like
So, moving on to the next segment, dad life. Do you guys feed your kids whatever they want, or do you just kind of like for example, like we're all like it's dinner. Do you give their kids like whatever they want? They're eating.
No,
They're giving it whatever they want, or does everyone eat what is being cooked?
everyone eats the same.
Everyone, for the most part, in my house, I have 17 people in my house. I have about 15 people in my house. So when we cook, for the most part, we already know what we're making. And if the girls don't like it, then they don't like it. But there's those one occasions where it's like, what do you want? Okay, what do you want? And what do you want? And I don't mind it. Like, I remember growing up, mom was like, oh, you're only going to eat what I make, and then that's it. I'm not making anything different, which is, what it is.
Only right.
Right, but I'm asking them what they want, and each one is like, one wants a pizza, one wants soup, and I don't mind that because it's like, because I really don't know what I want, and I don't care at that point.
So you
I
make
just
each one their own different
so
thing.
I make them. But for the most part, the two little ones will mainly eat like chicken nuggets and French fries, and Bella, of course, would have like.
You could extend that within days.
What's
Like
that?
one day, what do you want? What do you want? One day you make, like that kid will choose what everyone eats that day. The next day, the other kid chooses what everyone eats that day. Instead of making 4 different things in one.
Yeah,
for
no,
all.
but it's mainly 2. It's not really that many things. I mean, like I said, for the most part, like today we had stir fry and white rice, and everybody ate it.
Right.
And then what was it? Last week we made chicken, mashed potatoes, and corn. Well, I know Jess knows that the girls don't eat mashed potatoes, so she made them like that. What is that? Like that minute rice? Not minute rice, but like the bagged flavored rice.
Yeah.
So she makes them that. So she makes rice for them, and then mashed potatoes for me and her, and so I mean, kind of cater to so that everyone can have food. I guess I don't know, but I mean, I know what you're saying with like making each kid their own meal and stuff like that. It gets kind of tedious, I guess. To each its own. I don't know. I don't have there's a certain I don't know where I'm going with this, but it's like certain, I don't mind doing it if I'm asking them what they want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like I'm cooking rice and beans and chicken, and now all of a sudden this one wants soup out of nowhere. Like that's not happening.
Yeah.
Because this is what I'm making.
Yeah, you're differentiating, saying like we're just flat out making dinner and this is what you're having, versus
Right.
what do you guys want for dinner?
Right.
and you're just contouring to whatever.
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's where it's like, because I don't.
I also
know
think
what
it
to
also depends on like time too. Like if you have the time for that, and you're cooking 5 different things because the problem with that immediately that pops up in my head is like, dude, all these things that I'm making are gonna have different temperatures on the oven and different time and lengths. I'm like, I just got overwhelmed thinking about it. But if you have the time for it, then yeah, it's not that big of a, I guess, a thing. I could see that me doing that more for a lunch, but for a dinner, we're very just what we're eating is what we're eating.
Yeah.
It also opens up kid's palate. They get he's like my son's eating stuff that that we eat, and it's beyond like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Yeah,
he's being exposed to vegetables and other kinds of meats, and we're not telling him every meat he puts in his mouth it's chicken. We don't do that. You're eating pork chop right now. You're eating steak. You're eating, like, we tell him what he's eating.
Yeah, well, I remember us growing up, we just had, like, Pop, he was very in his, I don't know, food taste.
Stuck in his way.
Small, yeah. So it was either rice, beans, and, like, some kind of meat on the side, like chicken or pork chop or something like that. And which was fine. Mom, like, made different types of ways of rice, different kinds of chicken or pork chops or steak or whatever. But then me, I like seafood. I felt like as a kid I was deprived with all that because my dad didn't like seafood. She never made it. She was catering to one thing for everyone. So like now as I get older, my daughter, I gave her like a little bit and pieces of everything. So she eats like a grown woman. She eats the same, like she eats sushi when we eat sushi. Like she'll eat like a steak when I eat a steak. Yeah. Her palate is, like you said, is open, and she's been like experiencing all kinds of different kinds of food. Yeah. As opposed to just one. Like growing up, we had Spanish food. That was it, which is good. But then after a while, you get tired of it. Right. So yeah, I mean, and we ate the same thing that everyone else ate. There was no like, all right, you guys have this, and we're gonna make this. It was always that. So that's how we were growing up as. So if you want a kid to try something different, yeah, but everyone's gonna eat that different, whatever they want. The whole family's gonna eat it. It's like I don't know. I mean, if you go out to eat, yeah, then you're ordering different stuff. That's something different. But cooking, yeah. I think
that's part of the luxury of going out to eat. Yeah, everyone actually gets to pick whatever they want to, tear into, so to speak.
What their taste buds are craving that day.
Yeah, I mean that's. I feel like that's the luxury of eating out. You have options. You have variety. It's cool. I like it because it is funny seeing what people order when you were going out to eat. Yeah, like all the different things. Well, but meanwhile, like we can all eat the same thing, right? Yeah. Like if I tell you guys to come over, let's eat, my classic dish, chicken, rice, and beans or whatever, and we're all eating chicken, rice, and beans. But if we went out to a restaurant, we'd all be eating. Heck, we'll probably be eating a cheeseburger. You'd probably be eating whatever you want, and you'd probably be eating whatever you want. And then I'm ordering. It's just funny that way.
Yeah, that is true. So what? Speaking of like going out to eat, what would be your favorite restaurants, or like, do you guys have like specific restaurants that you guys would go to, like a go-to spot?
We don't have a go-to spot. We like food, like a specific food. So like if we're in the mood for steak, we'll go to like a steak. We'll try to go to a different steak place. Right. If we're in the mood, it just depends what we're in the mood for. We like if we're ordering out, like let me rephrase it. If we're like ordering like
Takeout.
Like takeout, yeah. Jeez. If we're ordering takeout, like cheesesteaks and stuff like that, yeah, we have our one spot, Anthony's Pizza. But then like we get if we get Sicilian, we order from Giovanni's because they make better Sicilian. If we get Chinese, yeah, we go to one spot for the most part, but that's if we're local. It depends. Like if we're in the mood to go down, somewhere else, like out of here, we have a preference on, like if we're in the mood for hibachi, we have one that we like, but we try different places. It's just, if you're asking if we have a preference, it just depends on what we're gonna get and what we're in the mood for, and then we just go from there.
So my favorite restaurant is not my favorite per se, but like typically with the kids, we'd never go wrong, is
Red Robin.
Red Robin. But I mean, I know like we went there this past Friday because Lainey, she took like a bunch of tests like throughout the school year. I guess they don't send their test home. That's just strange from school. Like every Friday, they'll send a test home, like the grades. Well, for some reason, they just stapled like 6 tests together for Lainey's, and they hand them home. Huh. So then we go over and we're looking at it. So she did really good. So then I was like, my wife goes, what do you want to make for dinner? And she was home all day. So I guess she was like flustered being in the house with the kids and whatever. I was like, let's just go out to eat. We took the kids a bath, and I didn't tell them where we were going, but Lainey had showed me her her grades or whatever. I was like, Lane, I'm gonna take you. We're gonna take you out somewhere because you got good grades. And then we had told her that if she passed her spelling test, that we would take her out to get whatever it is that she wanted.
Right.
So when we got to Red Robin, Nova's in the background. She's like, Red Robin. Like she knew where we were and what she was like.
Yeah,
what she was going into. I was like, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing that my 2-year-old knows where we're going, like where it's at.
I think it also depends. Like now that you're saying that, it also depends. It's situational too, because perfect example, like what you're saying is, if you have like 5 kids or something like that, then yeah, you're not gonna be able to like land on some like hibachi grill every single Friday.
Well, yeah,
something
that's what I was gonna ask. What's your favorite place to go with the kids, and what's your favorite place
places,
with you and
like,
your wife, or
yeah.
you and your?
There's
There's
a couple.
they're two different. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
2 different levels on things.
His favorite place with him and Jess is on the border.
Yeah, it is. The sad part it is though, because she looked at me. She's like,
love
I thought we were gonna go down the border.
See, me and Kel, when we first started dating, our spot was Havana in Newtown or New Hope.
Mm-hmm.
But then we had like this kind of like a goofy, weird experience. And then we didn't really have a place at one point. Then we were just like hopping around from like restaurant to I've never found that one because she likes crab cakes, and they're known for their crab cakes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I would just get whatever was on the menu. It didn't matter to me. I was just I'm eating. I'm a guy, but
Yeah.
yeah, and then our spot turned into like one of the local hibachi grills here, and we're like, I think we just go on Kicks.
Yeah.
And then we're like moving on to like the next thing, like I felt like one time we went to the Continental, and then I felt like for like the next 3 months we're in the Continental all the time, and then it's like
I guess
you know what I mean? Like
you have a good experience. You're like, oh, I want to go there again. But
Yeah.
Go again.
it's like, why do I keep coming up with this great idea?
It's
You know what I mean?
not.
Yeah.
And then after 3 times, you're like, oh, I don't want to come here ever again.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what you just kind of like burn it out or whatever. But you still have your go-to spots. Like if you had someone coming out of town, you want to take them to like a restaurant. Would that is that what comes to mind? You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
where would you want to take them? Because there's even places where we had a great experience, which I don't understand why this is so, but we never gone back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I
just
remember,
forget, honestly. probably
yeah,
just forget
and that's
about
what it was. There's a place called in Newtown called Green Parrot.
it. Yeah.
Excellent food, excellent like atmosphere, whatever. We went there like a handful of times, but then we passed by it like 2 weekends ago, going I don't know for that pumpkin patch thing. We're like kind of in the area. I took like a wrong turn. I'm like, the Green Parrot, man, why don't we come back here? And I don't know. I couldn't even answer you.
Yeah.
We actually forgot. I guess I didn't even. It doesn't come to
Out of
mind.
sight, out of mind type thing.
Yeah, but the place is awesome.
Yeah, then you get those times where you're like, where do you want to go? I don't know. Where do you want to go?
Yeah.
I don't know. Where do you want to go?
Yeah.
You're driving, you just end up at like the closest place.
Yeah.
That does stink.
You end up going really nowhere.
All your
special.
expectations just went like down. The
Yeah, you
drain.
guys are all ready, suited and booted to go out to like a nice place, and you just end up
You end up in
We went to
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
You had the drive-through. We didn't even go in.
Well, the one time that happened to us, we were in New Hope, Jess and I, and we were walking, and she said she was hungry. I was like, yeah, I'm kind of hungry, and we didn't know. We were like kind of like, whatever. We're just looking at the places, and we didn't really know what to go into. So there was a sign and it said something burgers or something
Best
like that.
burgers.
Yeah, I don't know, something like that. And so her and I, we walk in there, and the burger was amazing, like probably one of the best burgers I've had. And then they served tater tots on top of it.
Nice.
So it was like amazing. And I was like, it was just like a random spot we went into, and we've never been again. But the food was really, really good. You've been there before? You know what I'm
Yeah, it's
talking
right
about?
across the street from Havana.
Shut
It's one of those things
yes.
you'll walk by it like 1,000 times without
Yes.
knowing it's there.
Yeah.
It's a small, like,
It's a
little,
small
like,
little
mom and
joint,
pop
yeah.
place, but it's
It was good.
There's also places that are good just for the appetizers. You don't even necessarily
certain
like.
things,
Yeah.
just to munch on.
Yeah. I feel like the Volt was like
Munchies.
that.
Yeah.
The Volt's like that. I mean, you go there and it's like, because it's like a distillery, right, or a brewery,
They make
and they make their own beers or whatever. So you kind of go in there really for like the taste testing aspect of it, or get a flight or something, and then you're just kind of there, and you get a flight, and then you just get appetizers.
Yeah, some places just go for you. Just finger foods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then there's places that'll surprise you, right? You get invited, and I'm like, oh gosh, it's gonna be terrible because I was here. Here's one thing. This has nothing to do with what I was just about to say. What do you guys think about buffets?
No.
No.
Gross.
So disgusting.
Yeah,
I
I
get
don't-
Never.
skeeved.
Yeah, it's
I
not.
mean,
There-
as a
it
kid,
is
we had no
so
choice, but it was
Gross
like,
when I think about
Not
it.
my
I'm
thing.
so many
sorry.
people
I am so
flipping,
sorry,
tossing
Golden
chickens
Corral.
and
But we just passed by the Golden Corral and the place was mobbed. Isn't
Always.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
a buffet?
that's
It
a
is,
buffet.
yeah.
That's a buffet.
I've never been there. But
And I have nothing against Golden Corral. I'm just saying it's just buffets in general.
Yeah.
Gross.
Around us it was
enough.
Old Country Buffet.
'Cause I
so-
remember like younger, we used to go like randomly. Like I think one we was the Ponderosa.
Ponderosa was
Oh,
one,
wow.
yeah.
And it was funny because I actually was like we used to go like randomly like my cousins, my aunts, and whatever used to go there like, and we had like a long ass table, whatever it was. And there was one time that like all us cousins were like in one side of it. At the end of the thing, you always get like the ice cream and all that stuff.
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah.
So some of us got like the ice cream, and then we got like fruit and stuff in there, and we just like all of a sudden we started throwing like we started dipping like grapes and stuff in the chocolate ice cream, started throwing at each
oh
other.
my
What
gosh.
the
So we were making like a damn mess in the Ponderosa. Like, fortunately, I don't think I got hit, but like some of my other cousins got like covered in like chocolate ice cream.
Oh my gosh.
What a
with-
disaster.
With that, it depends if you like. There's some that like if you go to a wedding, it's buffet, but they have servers serving you. They're putting it on your
Yeah.
plate.
That's a
but
different type of thing.
different.
Yeah.
That's different.
Yeah,
you
that's
walk
different.
up and you pick what you want, but they're serving it on your plate. I hate seeing people just like
Yeah.
Get
scoop
thrown
in and
out.
they're
You see like rice going into pasta and they're like scooping stuff.
yeah,
It's
some
just
people
like,
are so
using-
sloppy and
yeah, exactly.
nasty
and they're
with it.
breathing all over it.
No,
They're
the
coughing.
best is when they get chicken. They're trying to look for like that perfect drumstick, but they're not using the tongs. They're using their hands.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
turning the chicken and toss it up to the side.
Or even if
I've
they
seen
use the tongs, they put it on their plate. I'm like, oh no, I don't want that. Take it out of their plate and put it
Put it
back
back,
into like the
yeah.
thing. And I'm like, this is,
So
and it has nothing to
gross.
do because sometimes people are like, well, that's because of those style. It's like an American style restaurant. I'm like, no, because I've gone to a Chinese buffet and got just as grossed out
Yeah.
as.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
there was a place I don't even know if it's still around, but it was like a pizza place called Cece's.
Yeah.
Where it had that general concept
pizza,
of like you
different
just
stuff.
grab.
I don't
Was
think
it?
that's in this area, but
Yeah.
I-
It
There was one enclosed.
was it?
Oh,
Okay.
did it?
Yeah,
It was where right
that
next to
came
the
and went
Popeyes.
really fast.
But-
That grew. Yeah, it just reminds me of like camp or something like summer camp and just hot, just grow. I don't know. I just or like cafeteria. Like it's not like a. I don't know. I feel like if I'm gonna pay for food or something, I want something because sometimes the
Worth your while.
prices aren't that cheap either.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
better off going
You
to
just
a
stockpile
restaurant.
food just to get your worth out of it.
Yeah. But I'm not that kind of person though. That's
Yeah.
why it doesn't work for me. Some people
I'd rather
are
get like
that.
a specified meal as opposed to just grab bag and everything.
Yeah. I mean, are you that indecisive where you got to go to a
it's
buffet?
gross.
Also, it's just group. I don't know. I don't know. I want to hear someone who likes buffet. You like buffets?
So
At the
would you go to one now?
I'm not necessarily against it, but I mean, like at the same
Yeah,
time, it was like,
I went to the.
I haven't
I
been
went
to one
to
so
one.
long.
Yeah, I went to. This is probably like 3-4 years ago. We went to a Chinese buffet, Chinese food or whatever, and of course, my wife and Lainey. No, they got good food. They're ranting and raving, and I look at Jess and I'm like, Jess, I can't stand going to buffets, and they're going on back and forth, back and forth. Dude, I grabbed the chicken, had hair on it. I got skeeved, and I'm looking at everything, and Jess is tearing down food, and Lainey's eating like chicken nuggets and French fries, and she's only going there because there's ice cream, so she wanted the ice
Yeah.
cream and this, and I'm like, dude, it's
'Cause that's like a
so-
guarantee.
yeah,
You got
it's
that.
so gross. Like it skeeved me out. I didn't eat nothing. Like I literally, and that was when I was working second shift, so we had lunch. Went off on our way. I went to work and I stopped at the pizza pizza shop and picked up pizza.
You know what the thing is too? They have it's a smell that it all carries, and the reason why I say that is because when you have the buffet style, they have to be inside these metal trays,
Yeah.
and they're sitting in that nasty boily water on the bottom, so everything
They
remains
cook the hot
heated,
dogs in
or
that
they
water.
have like those lights or whatever, those heat lights,
Heat
lamps. It has a smell to it. So even when you walk in, it just reminds me of like a cafeteria. It has like this
Yeah.
nauseating, like
Mixed
I don't know.
food smell.
yeah, yeah, just not good. So if you are out to eat, let's just say a friend's friend is with them, is the first time you met this person. How would you feel? Or how would you react to someone if they like just leaned over and like poked and grabbed something out of your plate?
Oh, I don't like that.
I don't.
I'm
I
done.
I don't.
I'm done eating.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
plate's
I don't-
mine. What's on my plate, and I'm not touching no one else's plate.
Yeah,
so-
that
Yeah, I don't
that's
care
too
for that.
much.
That's
You
just
pick up your plate and
ridiculous.
just throw it at them.
Well,
No, I'll throw
I mean,
the
I've
fork
been
at him, put him
out,
in the eye.
And I've had like I'm
You're
eating like
losing
a
an eye,
nice.
pal.
like I'm eating a nice steak, and then like Lauren's like, "Oh, try my chicken, whatever." I'm like, "Well, my palate's open to this right now. I don't want to try a chicken to throw
Yeah.
what I'm eating off."
Yeah.
Like that's what I feel like it's.
Yeah.
Gonna
Well,
switch
especially
stuff
steak
up.
to chicken.
Well,
Steak,
yeah,
it's like a
that's-
downgrade.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, but I
Yeah, but
wouldn't,
if-
I wouldn't even do that, and that's an offer. It's
Right.
Someone
Somebody
just
else-
digging in my
so
plate,
right.
or,
So you're digging on your.
or someone putting stuff on my plate. Like, here, try
That
this.
I
Boom,
hate
and
that.
throw
Oh, man,
more
I
food
hate
on my-
that.
Try this. Plop. What the heck?
So you're eating your steak, and somebody grabs their fork and grabs like a potato. You have potatoes and steaks. That'll.
What my
Yeah,
thing
no.
is,
Yeah.
what
should
adult
order
does
that.
that? Like,
You
why
should.
are
Right,
you
exactly.
doing that?
No, yeah. That doesn't happen to me, but I would be like.
It's never
freaked
happened
out
to me.
about
The
it.
reason why I seen it happen.
Yeah.
I'm like, this dude definitely just met this person, and again, I got like that secondhand embarrassment. It wasn't me, or wasn't really a friend of mine. I knew the person, but it wasn't a friend of mine. But we were all out, and it was one of those things. It was a long night out, and I don't know if this person was like, I don't know, whatever, but he did it, and it was like it got really weird really fast because the person was not happy,
Yeah.
and it got. I don't know why people do
Yeah, it's
stuff
annoying.
like that though.
Like if you're not offered, don't dip into it. Like.
That's like beyond manners, though. They did.
Yeah.
That's the first time they met that person.
Right, but it's one thing if you say, if I'm sitting next to Gabe, I'm like, yo, here, try some of this. This is banging.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
offering it to him.
Exactly.
Not Gabe just reaching over and just stabbing it and,
Just take
and
the whole steak off
take
your
it-
plate.
Yeah, take my whole
Yo, let me
steak.
try some of that. Bam.
Yeah, but I guess it's safe enough to say we all love leftovers.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'll eat that person's leftovers, like
Yeah.
if it's like someone of significance, like we
Yeah.
come home and so the next day I'll take it for lunch.
Mm.
I'm not, but yeah, I'm not eating their food while they're eating it.
But that's not leftovers.
I know,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, but if they don't eat
Yeah.
it all, I'll take it for the
Take
next
it home.
day.
Yeah.
That's a
and I'll
comb-over.
try it. I'll try it the next day.
Yeah. this guy's getting ridiculous at this point. He's saying stuff that doesn't even make sense. With that being said, I have a fantastic quote by Kevin James. There's no better feeling in the world than a warm pizza box on your lap. Thank you,
So
Kevin
true.
James.
Wow.
So true.
And the second quote is, eating is not merely a material pleasure. Eating will give you a spectacular joy to life and contributes immensely to goodwill and happy companionship. It is of great importance to the morale. Elsa Schiaparelli. And I know that sounds kind of like, oh, wow, okay. But if you think about it, it's true. I thought when I read that, I thought of like Thanksgiving. It brings everyone like together. We're
Together, yeah.
talking.
Yeah.
We're talking about the food because this person made the mashed potatoes. This person made the turkey and
Yeah.
made it a different way. And oh, I'm gonna put bacon on top of it next time or whatever. There's definitely conversation.
This person made a
pieces.
dish you'll never touch.
All
then
star
this
dinner.
person-
There's always that one though.
Oh man, he had.
Oh look, I made you this, and you look at it like, oh, all right, cool, thanks. Go ahead, Gabe.
In this episode, we discuss our favorite food, dealing with food with our children, leftovers, and our stories of terrible food experiences. We wrap up this episode with quotes from Kevin James and Elsa Schiaparelli.
Awesome. Guys, thanks again for joining us. The Rotated Views podcast was produced for self-development purposes. Huge shout out to our sponsors. This episode is brought to you by the Blessed Lifestyle brand. That is BL3SSED.com. Also sponsored by The Motivation Files Unleashed. This motivational mixtape will be your fuel for success. Available on all platforms. Guys, don't forget to visit the website, JimmyleeVelez.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Rotated Views. If you have any inquiries or questions, email us at info@JimmyleeVelez.com. On behalf of myself and the rest of the crew, we wish you massive success. Stay blessed.